At 36 years of age, Tommy Haas is the oldest player in the top 100. With 15 ATP World Tour titles to his name and still inside the top 20, the German number one continues to fly the flag for his country.
He's the most important German player of the last 10-15 years.
But in his long and illustrious career, Tommy's had to overcome a number of challenges.
He's had so many injuries and he's come back so many times, which is enormous, and he's one of the great German players, and I hope he will continue for quite some time.
A couple of years ago, I didn't really know where I was in my career after hip surgery when I was coming back. I didn't know if I had a lot left in me in my game, and the thought of maybe retiring was a big question mark already. I became a father as well, so I didn't know if I still wanted to really do the grind and see if I can come back. But something told me that I should definitely try to give it another push, and my family and my fiance supported me quite a bit, and my daughter, I think, gave me a lot of new motivation to do so as well, and get me back in good shape and mentally ready to go out there and play some of my best tennis.
And like a fine wine, he continues to do just that. This year, he's already reached the final in Zagreb, and in 2013, claimed one of the biggest scalps of his career.
I had a great tournament in Miami, obviously with the win over Novak. Number one player of the world at that time. Was obviously a great match that I played. Really happy with my result overall that week, reaching my first semi-finals there, especially also in front of my daughter, really for the first time, that she was in the stands for a couple of the matches there, and that was really special and a great week.
Coming from a country with such a rich tennis history, the former world number two has had much to live up to. In the early stages of his career, the German fans and media expectation was almost too much for Tommy, but now it's something he relishes.
It's always very special playing, in front of a German crowd. I remember when I first started playing, at the young age, it was very overwhelming and something I've always wanted to do. And we've had a lot of big tournaments in Germany, and growing up watching, my German idols at the time, Becker, Stieg, and even Steffi Graf, it was always something I couldn't really wait for. Also representing my country, playing Davis Cup. So I've always had a special relationship with the German fans. Throughout my career, then there was times where I felt like maybe it was getting a little bit too much of a pressure situation, where maybe the expectations were too high, and sometimes I didn't quite know how to deal with it. And now for the past few years, again, playing in Germany, it's just been like knowing that maybe these are my last few times I'm actually going to be around. I really felt like they've sort of embraced that as well and really pushed me.
He might be the oldest player in the top 100, but he's still mixing it with the very best. So how did it all start for the German star?
My dad introduced me to tennis. He was a teaching pro. That's how he made a living for us, and just fell in love with the sport, and had the chance to then go to Bollettieri Tennis Academy at a very young age to really fulfill my dream. And obviously it wasn't a very easy situation for my parents to have done that, but they saw that I really just loved tennis and was going to try anything possible to make it happen. And it's been great, doing something that I've always dreamt of, being a professional tennis player, and still doing it right now is obviously something very special.
Tommy Haas, proof that age really is just a number. Next week on ATP World Tour Uncovered, magical Madrid. We're behind the scenes in the Spanish capital for the Mutua Madrid Open. And time to look back. Spain's Tommy Robredo reflects on some of the favourite moments of his career so far. Don't forget to log on to atpworldtour.com for your 24/7 breaking news, and talk with us on Facebook and Twitter in English and Spanish. See you next week.